my voice sounds really awful. I apologize. There's a very, very good explanation for it, but it's not one that I'm rather proud of. We've been switching medication around for this new doctor. His goal is to get me sleeping better and to get my seizures under control. Well, he's got me sleeping better. I'm sleeping all the time now, like more than 12 hours a day. It's very frustrating as far as trying to get around. And the other one is my seizures. He took me off one of my seizure medications and put me on another medication which I had tried previously and told him I didn't have a really good response to, but I would try it again because knowing how us weird medical people, with our anomalies and whatnot, things change, and my medicine allergies and aversions change. So I said I'll try it. So we got up to about, started at 50 the first week, 100 the second week, moving on to 150, and my seizures were getting worse. The first day we were in Florida, we were driving from the airport. Jackie was driving from the airport to her aunt's house, and I had one of the worst seizures I've had in a very, very long time. It lasted more than half an hour and ripped up both sides of my tongue. The end of it was bit off. It was in my hand. Blood drooling everywhere. She had to stop the car and take care of, try to get me to at least come back enough that I understood where we were. It didn't help that we were in Florida. I had no idea where we were for quite some time. So we called the doctor Monday, they were closed. Called the doctor Tuesday, they were closed. Spoke to somebody on Wednesday, did not hear back until Friday. Took several phone calls that day for them to realize what in the world was going on, because apparently I'd gotten some misinformation the last time I spoke to somebody about stopping my sleeping medications. Wasn't supposed to stop them, and they wouldn't really tell me who I spoke to that told me that. Took me off the seizure medication. So as you don't know, it was Lyrica, and they use it a lot for fibromyalgia, and that's why I originally had taken it, and I didn't do well with it. And they took me off Neurontin, so now I'm only taking Keppra for seizures. But I'm taking Ativan, which seems to help kind of dull them down once they get started. I can give you a whole list of the stuff I'm on if you private message me. I'm not much ashamed of it, but we're going through it so quick, I can't even keep the list that I carry with me up to date. This is the third week we're in now, so I see him next Friday. I'm just hoping, I'm going to call tomorrow about this recent episode I'm talking about, because we've got to get these seizures under control. So they added a new med, and we went and picked it up while we were in Florida the last day we were there on Friday. And I started it that night. And I woke up Saturday morning to leave. And granted, it was early. I hadn't had much sleep the entire week. I enjoyed myself thoroughly, but I did not have a lot of sleep. And I was just a complete asshole. Like, complete and utter asshole. Didn't want to be talked to. Didn't want to be messed with. I took so much medication that I slept through, thankfully, the plane ride and the 3-hour wait we had between planes. And then I slept on the 17-minute plane ride from one city to another to get back to our hometown. So we had a tiny little connector, which, whatever, fine. And came home, didn't really want to talk to anybody, went straight to bed, slept for the next pretty much 2 days. Well, that Friday that we swapped all my meds and were on the phone with the doctor, the lab calls me. The lab, I don't know if you guys saw the bruise on my arm. I think I told about it. The Quest Labs. It appears that they had an issue handling my specimen out in California. Love how they call it a specimen. Basically, they had destroyed one of the tests, and they needed me to come back in, which is about a 40-minute drive from our house, to have 3 or 4 tubes pulled of blood. So fine, whatever, they take me, we go yesterday, we got there, and they were doing lunch, and I was supposed to have an orthodontist appointment afterwards, because my teeth are acting stupid again, and they were closed for lunch, so we went to the mall, which is right across the street, and got some things that we had kind of, played with in Florida that we really liked. We got an oil burner for the bedroom, and we're probably going to get another one for downstairs, because her aunt had quite a few, and they helped me sleep. the smell, and so we're trying to kind of try that, and it seems to help a lot while we were down there because I was in a really good mood. But like I said, I started this medicine Friday. I was mad Saturday. I was mad and stayed in bed all day Sunday. And then having to go get the blood and having to wait. I was rather calm, but I was irritated. Like, just irritated. And not with anybody in particular. I think I did rather fine while we were doing the blood. But we did a bunch of shopping because I was so manic I wanted to be out of the house. Which should have alerted me to begin with, the manic thing. But I was just an ass. My feet were killing me. I was angry. I didn't want to be talked to. So needless to say, I ended up screaming most of the night till about 4 in the morning. I don't remember the reason. It was probably something very, very simple or stupid, but I was very upset. And I started thinking about it today because I've been trying to, keep to myself in the dark and I had seizures and whatnot. I started this medicine Friday, and Saturday morning I was angry. And I've been angry ever since and been taking it every night, and it gets worse at night when I take it. So, needless to say, that medicine stops tonight. It is Seroquel, if you would like to know. It's an antipsychotic. It helps with seizure control. It didn't really help my seizures anyway, so. But it did cause some nice stuff called limbic rage. The limbic system is in the lower part of your brain, and it seems to be where Lyme patients are affected the most, and it causes limbic rage, which is how angry I was. But I think this was more caused by the medication than just having fits of rage. And it also is where my seizures come from. I know I've written on my seizure video that I don't have grand mal seizures. I have what we consider limbic seizures. They don't happen in the front or the temporal lobes of my brain. They happen in the limbic lobe. So it's very different and hard to explain to people, but that's what that is. So basically, quite a medication debacle. Just really through with it all. Sleeping very well, but too much. So I'm going to try to figure out and play around with some things for a few nights to see if I can get the sleep to be reasonable without being overwhelming. So, not always the nice person that I know I look and appear. I hate being angry. It's like being out of my body, and I want to hit myself with a big hammer from a cartoon, and I can't stop it, and it's not fair because it's not anybody's fault, and it's not even my fault, but it is because I can't control it, and it's very frustrating having to direct it at somebody who doesn't deserve it. It's really guilty, empty, just gross feeling coming back to, as I call it. Because the limbic seizures usually involve a fit of rage that is much like a seizure. Go figure. It's almost 8:20. I've been rambling for this long, but I did want to give you guys an update medically on what's going on, and we're trying to wrangle these tests, and I go back to the doctor next Friday, and I'm going to do a video about him. People keep asking about why I call him the wizard. And I'll do a video about him. That should be coming up soon. Maybe I'll do it in the next day or two. So, any of you have made it this far, congratulations, and I hope you're all well. I'm doing my best. Take care.